Annika says, question, how many dates would you suggest to have with a man if there's no physical attraction? Can that develop? Okay. Um, so a great question. And so I want to lean into this. If you're completely repulsed by the person, in other words, you are just, for a fact, there's no chance in hell that you would sleep with this person. In other words, if you feel that repulsed, okay, then you don't have to go out on another date. Now, there's the difference between physical attraction, that dopamine hit, that rush of lust, that rush of limerence. There's a big difference between that and they are not your type. Now, if they are not your type, I'd give that person a couple chances, provided you experience one of these things on a first date. Okay. Do you feel some level of emotional connection with this person? Are you vibing on an emotional level? In other words, is it just easy to talk to? Are you find yourself enjoying the conversation? This person isn't your type, but it's just easy to talk to this person. If you've experienced that, I would give that person a couple chances. Or maybe intellectually you connect. Have you ever heard of sapiosexual? Sapiosexual people, they connect at that brain power level. This person may not be your type, but you're actually connecting at that brain power level. I would give that person a couple chances, okay? Maybe you meet someone who's creative, a comedian, a photographer, an artist, a chef, somebody they're creative in their life. There's just something radically attractive. I mentioned comedian. My friend Allison Armstrong calls it the Adam Sandler effect. Adam Sandler isn't the most handsome guy on the planet. But his comedy endears you to him. And if maybe you're experiencing that on a first date, I'd give that guy a chance. Certainly people that have a protective nature about them, that can be highly attractive. These are the people I would give a couple chances to see if they actually grow on you. Now, again, if you're completely repulsed by this person, I'm not forcing you, well, first off, I'm not forcing you to do anything, but I'm inviting you to lean into this. But if you are feeling some level of those other connections, that's a person you can give several chances to, okay? Hey, I hope you found value in that. Post a comment below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Hey, we got another question that came in. How soon should we expect exclusivity and then a committed relationship? Great question, Sally. So, I believe, here's the thing. Okay, I'm about to share with you the way I operate, but if I like someone and I want to see them more than 3 times, then I prefer to devote my attention to one person at a time. Now, that's not exclusivity, but I effectively take myself off the dating marketplace because I want to get to know one person at a time. I'm a believer of that. And exclusivity is the conversation to say, hey, we're going to call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, I would venture to say if 2 people have gone out between 4 and 7 dates, they seem to like each other, they want to explore a relationship together, by the time you get to the 7th date is the time to have a conversation about, are we looking to explore a relationship together? Certainly, if physical intimacy is involved, immediately talk about some level of exploring a relationship together. You're simply saying, hey, I want to explore if we make a good fit for one another. And I want to do this in the container of an exclusive relationship, which includes monogamy, which includes exclusivity. So I think, when should that exclusivity? I think, again, it can happen at any time, but by the time you've seen someone 7 times in a 3-week period of time, within a month period of time, if you've seen someone 7 times. Now, some people say exclusivity should happen by the 3rd or 4th month. I believe exclusivity should happen, monogamy and exclusivity should happen at least when you're physically intimate with someone. If you're not familiar with my dating vows, here's a copy of it. There's a link below to get my dating vows, okay? Dating vows goes like this. And you recite this to one another. It says, I agree to explore the process to getting to know you from a truthful place with the intent to declare something serious within the next 3 to 6 months. And again, the dating vows is something you recite to one another before you're physically intimate. I agree to be monogamous sexually while we're having regular sex together. I agree to not actively seek to meet others and date others while we're in the process of getting to know each other, which includes taking down our dating profiles. I agree to speak up if this isn't working for me versus pulling back, ghosting, and disappearing. And lastly, I agree to invest regular time together, which looks like doing social activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, traveling together, teamwork, building skills, both in our personal and our professional life, intimacy, physical and emotional intimacy, as we just discussed. Now, 80% of guys will bail on this. You know why? Because women will have sex without any commitment. But when you make a stand for your sovereignty, when you are in your sovereignty, and a man genuinely cares about, he will respect you. And he will actually adopt this because it makes sense for both of you. Is this sinking in, Sally? Is this resonating with you? Please let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in the first 24 hours.